जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवारधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe Prabhupada 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 Jai Prabhupada शिल प्रभुपाद की जय ग्रंथराज भगवद गीता की जय जनित गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Shri Guru Shri Gauranga all glories to Srila Prabhupada Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषाभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो ब्रह्मण्यदेवाय गोब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्धिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. Welcome everyone to Bhagavad Gita class, and we are reading today from the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita entitled The Universal Form. Does anybody needs translation? Jemand braucht es Erzählung? No? Okay. Übersetzung. Oh. Oh, okay.
Prabhu's books. Ja, also ich habe das hier auf Deutsch. Hast du Deutsch? Ja.
Okay. So if you can understand English? No. Can somebody translate for him? Problematic. Übersetzung. Can you? Yeah. Okay. We're reading text number 6 from the 11th chapter, the Universal Form. You want to sit next to me and translate? Huh? You cannot do it. Oh. Oh. Okay. So the verse goes as follows. Pasyadityan vasun rudran Ashvinau marutas Bahuni adrishta purvani Pasyascharyaani Bharata. Please chant. Pasyadityan vasun rudran Ashvinau marutas Bahuni adrishta purvani Pasyascharyaani Bharata. Please chant. Anybody else like to chant? Pasha, see. Adityan, the 12 sons of Aditi, Vasun, the 8 Vasus, Rudran, the 11 forms of Rudra, Ashvinau, the 2 Ashwins, Marutaha, the 49 Maruts, demigods of the wind, Tatha, also, Bahuni, many, Adrishta, that you have not seen, Purvani, before, Pasha, see, Ascharyani, all the wonders, Bharata, O best of the Bharatas. So, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O best of the Bharatas, see here the different manifestations of Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, and all the other demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard before. Purport. Even though Arjun was a personal friend of Krishna and the most advanced of the learned men, it was still not possible for him to know everything about Krishna. Here it is stated that humans have neither heard nor known of all these forms and manifestations. Now Krishna reveals these wonderful forms. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam. So, Bahuni Adrishta Purvani Pasha Ascharyani Bharata. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard before. Now Krishna is telling this to Arjun, right? Arjun is not a common man, and Arjun has seen a lot, much more than what we can ever imagine what he might seen. Because Arjun had gone to Swarga, the heavenly planets, for the purpose of obtaining divine weapons, Divya Astras. And before he could enter Swarga in this very same body, he had to please Lord Shiva. And he had to obtain the weapon called Pashupatastra, Shiva's personal weapon. It turns out that all the devatas, they have also a mantric form made of mantra. And it also turns out that they have a form made into a weapon. Like Brahma, his weapon is the Brahmastra. And Lord Shiva has the Pashupatastra. And there's a form of Shiva named Aghora. And he manifests as Aghorastra. It even sounds very fearful, Aghorastra. The powerful destructive powers. And Vishnu also has his Vaishnavastra. Lord Narayan has his Narayana Astra, which looks like a discus when it flies. And there are 3 weapons in creation which cannot be countered by any other weapon. They are the Brahmastra of Brahma, the Pashupatastra of Lord Shiva, and the Narayana Astra of Lord Krishna or Vishnu. Very interesting, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, what happened was that the Narayana Astra was launched by the Kauravas to destroy the Pandavas. And everyone knew there is no way to counter this weapon. So Krishna told everyone of the Pandavas and the entire army, everyone bow down to this Astra in humility. That is the only way that the Narayana Astra will not chop off your head. Bhimsen was too proud. He stood, no, I'm not afraid of this Narayana Astra. And they're trying to push his head down, and Bhim was not willing to. So Krishna saw the danger that Bhim will not survive this Astra. So he jumped in front of the Narayana Astra and absorbed it in in his body. So there are amazing things in creation. And Arjun had seen many things. He went to Swarga and learned the divine lore of all these special weapons. Never heard of before, never seen of before by humans. I recall being a student in high school, and they had discovered some ancient cities in present-day Pakistan, what used to be India. And these ancient cities were named Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. And these Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, they were dated to be more than 10,000 years old, right? Western fanatics don't like this, that Indian civilization can be that old. So they dated it that this is not Indian, it is Dravidian, means South Indian, some other civilization. But unfortunately for them, the bodies which they found in these cities who died during whatever reason on the street were wearing jewelry which even at present Indian women wear. North Indian Gujarati women, like these many bracelets up to here, goes like this. So they saw these kind of amazing things. Then later they also discovered one city in the south of Gujarat, also near the border with Pakistan. And that city's name was Dholavera. And in Dholavera, they saw something they never experienced before, what could never be seen. They saw that sand was vitrified. And vitrification or vitrified means it turned into glass. Like you have this word vitrina, which means glass. For sand to turn into glass, you need enormous heat, because you have to melt the soil, right? So they remember that only during the detonation of the hydrogen bomb in the Arizona desert in America, they found vitrification of the soil there, right? So they wondered, how do we have vitrification here in Dholavera? It can only be done by detonating some atom bomb. So who fought here with atom bombs? Who was launching these weapons? Who were these people doing these amazing things? So they're still scratching their head that this Dholavera might have been destroyed by some atomic explosion. But the place is dated 10,000 years old. So who was using these weapons 10,000 years ago? Right? They will accept any theory, but not the scriptures. The scientists, it's right there. Divyastras, Brahmastras, enormous heat, explosion of atomic explosions, vitrification of the soil. So it all indicates that, and also radiation was there found, that somebody was dealing here with atomic explosions, but only 10,000 years ago. When scientists say that the humans had not evolved from the monkeys, they were Neanderthalers, but how were they using these very sophisticated weapons, right? So Arjuna had seen many things. He had pleased Lord Shiva, he's gotten the Pashupatastra. Then in Swarga, he had seen his father Indra, his own father Indra. And of course, the most beautiful, the best of the dancers, Urvashi. She had fallen in love with him. So he had seen amazing things in creation. Then in Swarga, Arjuna was given a task by Indra. And the task was, Indra said, there are these race of demons named Nivata Kavachas. And I have not been able to defeat them because they are too powerful. But I hand you the task, O Arjun, to defeat them, to kill them all. And Arjun went on a chariot behind the Nivata Kavacha demons. Now look at the name, Nivata Kavacha. Vata in Sanskrit means air. And Nivata means closed or no air. And Kavacha means shield. So it indicates that they are a class of demons who could travel with spacesuits, right? You block your air and no air can come in. And it is described that they had aircrafts which would come out of the ocean underwater and then fly up into space. And Arjuna was hunting after them. He was shooting and shooting and shooting till all of them were destroyed. And then among the rubble, he was looking for any demon who survived his attacks. Amazing things Arjuna had seen. And this is like modern day dreaming. What is there in space? To boldly go where no one has gone before. Right? These are science fiction series. Right? They dream about what is there in space, what kind of civilizations are there. Arjuna had seen a lot. And not only that, Arjuna was once kidnapped. He was going to take a bath in a river, and somebody pulled his leg under the water. And he was brought down into a palace, into an amazing, beautiful palace. And that was Nagaloka. And the person who pulled his leg was the princess of Nagaloka named Ulupi. She had fallen in love with the beauty of Arjuna. And he was known in his time to be the best and most beautiful warrior. So you be very careful when you want to be the most of something. Some Nagin, some princess from Nagalok might kidnap you and bring down into a palace. It turns out, it seems like this, that the gateways to the lower planets, below the Earth's surface, like Nagaloka and other dimensions or other places, they're all sealed by water. Like the gateway starts from under a lake or from under a river. So humans just cannot enter because they can't survive keeping their breath for about 2 or 3 minutes. If you swim more than that, you'll die. And even if you manage to enter the gateways, the snakes will bite you to death. It happened to Bhimsen. Bhimsen was given poison and thrown in the river. And he drowned it actually towards Nagaloka. And when he entered Nagaloka gates, then the guardians of the Nagaloka planet started biting him, thinking him to be an intruder. And because of the bites, that countered the poison which he had eaten. So he became awake, and the snakes had to surrender to his power of Bhimsen. So then he was brought in front of Vasuki, the king of the snakes. And Vasuki asked who he was. He said, "I am the second son of Kunti, and I was given some food and thrown into the river, and that's all I noticed." They said, "Oh, you're the son of Kunti. That is very nice, because then you're related to me. I'm your grandfather." Turns out that the Pandavas had a dynasty going to the Nagas also. They were related to the Nagas. So he said, "My dear son, please drink these pots of asavam nectar, and each pot contains the power of 10,000 elephants." Right? So Bhimsen, he likes to eat. So he was drinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this way, this Bhimsen, who's supposed to be killed, came out with the power of 10,000 elephants. He had the power to 10,000 elephants. So Arjun had a child with Ulupi, and the child's name was Iravan. And it was a huge snake, a gigantic snake with a hood. And it says during the Mahabharata battle, he also was there to fight with the Pandavas. But he was killed by the opposite Naga. His head was chopped off by creating an illusion. So, on his travels to collect wealth for his brother's Rajasuya Yagya, Yudhishthir, Arjun had gone to the earthly, heavenly planets, earthly Swargas. And he had entered Kim Purusha Varsha and Hari Varsha, which are situated on the northern side beyond the Himalayas. So, Kim Purusha Varsha indicates that if you go north of the Himalayas into another dimension, that's open to you, you will see there humans who don't have either a full human form. You won't see that. Either an animal head and the rest is human, or animal body and a human head. These are Kim Purushas. And it comes from the Sanskrit. When you see them, then you say Kim Purusha, are they humans? It's a question, Kim Purusha. Right? That means in Sanskrit, are they humans? No, they are not human. They are Kim Purushas. They are called Kimpurushas. Hanuman is also considered to be a Kimpurusha. He has a monkey's face and like a human body he has. These are Kimpurushas. So if you go north of the Himalayas, there is a gateway to Kimpurusha Varsha where other type of beings live. Arjun entered there when he was going to collect wealth for the Rajasuya sacrifice. He has also seen the golden mountain Meru, made of solid gold. And that mountain has a very, unique shape. It is broad at the top and goes down slender at the bottom. Right? It's like that. And it is supported by other mountains which are not made of gold, that it won't fall. So amazing how the construction is done of that mountain. It's fully made of gold and gems. And devatas and apsaras, they go and frolic and enjoy on those mountains made of gold. On top of that mountain, there are 1,000 peaks. It's like horizontal 1,000 peaks. And on top of these peaks, there are the 8 cities of the main devatas. Indra's city is there, Brahma city is there, Yamaraja's city is there, Kubera's city is there, Vayu city is there, Shiva city is there, Ishan actually, Shiva, Agni city is there, and Nriti city is there. And you find it is organized in that way exactly according to Vastu. You can find that the Vastu Shastra is coming also from Bhagavatam. Very interested. So Arjun had traveled to get all this wealth for the Rajasuya sacrifice, and he had traveled entire Jambu Dweep, and he went up to Kuru Varsha, where no humans can go, to that region, but they accepted Yudhishthir's emperorship and they gave Arjun plenty of wealth. Amazing things he had ever seen, golden mountain of Meru. So one devotee was telling me that there is another region, it's called Ilavrita Varsha, which is beyond Hari Varsha even. There only women can go, male are not allowed there. And if a man dares to go there, he will be turned into a woman. And there is a pastime in a Bhagavatam that it happened like that. That King Sudyumna, he went there with his army, and all of a sudden the horse turned into a female horse. He became a beautiful girl, and all his army men also became girls, because of that. The reason for that is that region is ruled by Lord Shiva and Bhavani, his wife. And once they were sitting there in private, and Goddess Bhavani was not dressed, she was sitting on the lap of her husband. And just at that time, rishis arrived to have darshan of Shiva. So Bhavani felt very much ashamed, and she covered herself and kind of hid from their vision. The rishis saw that, immediately they turned and they went back. And Shiva, realizing the feelings of Bhavani, he said, "From now on, any man entering here will be turned into a woman." That was the reason. So it turns out that anybody who comes from Swarga down to earth, he will have to take birth in Ilavrita Varsha, in that place where Lord Shiva is the ruling. That means everyone who is here on this planet coming from Swarga has been a woman in one life worshipping Shiva, and then incarnating finally in Bharata Varsha and this earth planet. Very interesting. So now, his brother Nakul had gone to the south of Bharata Desha, and he had reported, he also went to collecting wealth for the Rajasuya sacrifice, and he had reported a race of one-legged humans. I mentioned that before. A race of humans who used to walk on one leg. So we would say they would jump, otherwise how can you move? But they had one leg. And elsewhere it describes that they're a type of Rakshasas, so they were eating humans somehow or other. Some call them the Kerakas, some call them Keralans, whatever they might be. They were a race of humans having one leg. Nakul also reported about King Vibhishan, the king of Lanka. That same Vibhishan who lived during the Treta Yuga and the brother of Ravana, he's still alive. And he gave a tremendous amount of wealth to Yudhishthir for the sacrifice. And on the order of Ghatotkach, the son of Bhimsen, thousands of Rakshasas were needed to carry all that wealth from Lanka to Indraprastha. And Arjuna had witnessed all that wealth, amazing, coming from Lanka, from another yuga. like that. So Arjun had seen the transcendental Dwarka, right? Because he visited many times Krishna's Dwarka. And he has seen the Dwarka heroes, Balaram, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, who are actually God himself, Vishnu himself. And they're all Vishnu Tattva incarnations. And Arjuna has seen the universal mothers, Rukmini and Satyabhama, who are actually Lakshmi and Bhudevi. He's seen all of them. He has seen Krishna also. And Arjuna had driven on Krishna's personal golden chariot when he had kidnapped Subhadra, right? So many things he had seen. And he had owned the daughter, the daughter of Ugrasen, the sister of Krishna. This is Arjun. And in the palace in Indraprastha, in which the Pandavas lived, that palace was constructed by Maidanava, a superhuman being, a Danava, and he had constructed beautiful settings, lakes made of crystals with lotuses in there. And they were so beautiful, you could not make a distinction between whether it was water or it was stone. So beautiful crystal lotus with real lotuses, bumblebees going here and there. Just like, you can imagine, you walk and all of a sudden you see a beautiful little lake there, and made of crystal, shining. You can sit there, you can chant your japa, whatever. These scenes were there. And Maidanav had made a 3D illusion. His painting was so excellent. He had painted in certain walls, like it looked like a window with a gate you could go through. The setting was perfect. So if you think Rembrandt is a beautiful, good painter, Rembrandt from Rhine, then, Maidanav is much more expert. Because when Duryodhan was going through that Maidanav's palace given to Yudhishthir, he was amazed by this scene like this, where Hare Krishna says. So Duryodhan looked at that. That's a beautiful lake. Let me go there. And he went and boom! He was looking and nobody, saw him making this accident, but it was like that, 3D. You couldn't distinguish between a wall or a gate. So expert Maidana was. He had created land, which was actually made of water, but looked like land, or land looking like fire. All kinds of, he was playing with the characteristics of the elements, Maidanava. And Arjun and Sri Krishna had let Agni Dev burn the Khandava forest. What happened is that one time Arjun and Krishna were going to the Ganges river. And was it Ganges? Yeah, I think it was Ganges. Not sure. Maybe Yamuna also. The reason was it was very hot. Like just now in India, it is about 50 degrees centigrade. So you can appreciate that you have free AC here in this country. So 50 degrees. So Arjun said, Krishna is very hot, very, very hot. Let us go to the river for some cooling. So I said, okay, take permission from the Maharaj, means Yudhishthir, and then we can go. Then all the ladies also said, you also want to go, we also feel heat. So the whole household went. Krishna and Arjun and all the ladies went there. And they had a water palace there, playing in the river, enjoying fruits, everything. I mean, when royalty goes to take a bath, that means there will be singing, music, fruits, flowers, food, dance, everything. So all the Ranis and all the queens, they were showing their skill in dance, Kathak dance, Odissi dance, Bharatanatyam dance. They were showing all that. They were relaxing and taking foods. And Krishna and Arjun saw all of that, and they decided, let us go to another forest for relaxation. And a throne was brought there. Krishna and Arjun sat. And then a very large, tall Brahmin came. Very effulgent. Long beard he had. And his hairs seemed to smoke. Very effulgent Brahmin, like flames. So he came to Krishna and Arjun. He said, Bhiksham Dehi. I came to beg for alms. Please give me what I want. So Krishna and Arjun stood up. Okay, what is the problem in feeding a Brahmin? Said, yes, what do you like, my dear Brahmin, to eat? We promise you to give you. So when he got the promise, then he said, I'm just not ordinary Brahman. I'm Agni Dev and I'm hungry. I want to eat the entire Khandava forest with all its creatures in there. All the snakes, the birds, the reptiles, the animals, everything I want to eat because I'm very hungry. Huh? How can we do that? So he was instructed, you should stay on both sides, Arjuna and Krishna, wield your weapons while I am devouring the Khandava forest. Because Indra, he is always protecting the snake Takshaka who lives there. He's his good friend. The same Takshaka who bit Parikshit was living there with his family. And whenever I try to devour the forest, Indra comes and showers huge rain. And then I fail to burn the Khandava forest. But this time I have your help. Brahma told me to ask help from Nara Narayana Rishi. And I know that you are Nara and you are Narayana. Arjun and Krishna, you are Nara Narayana. So you should help me. So okay, we give the promise to give you food. So now we have to fulfill that. So both Krishna and Arjun went on their chariots and surrounded the Khandava forest. And then Agnidev started to burn the Khandava forest. Huge flames started to come up. It was growing and growing and eating and growing. And all these creatures were trying to flee from the fire. And as they were fleeing, then Arjun shot arrows, let them fall into the fire again. Anybody dared to escape, he shot them dead. So this was going on. And finally, Indra came with all the host of the Devatas, and Arjuna was looking at them. That is Indra on his Airavata elephant. That is Rudra. These are the Adityas. These are the Maruts. They all came completely decorated with all their armory and weaponry to assist Indra. But Arjun turned out to be more powerful. He fought with them, left and right, and left and right. And Krishna helped him. And then a voice came from the sky. And that voice was from Brahma. And he ordered Indra, now you should stop fighting. You cannot defeat these two. Arjuna and Krishna are Nara and Narayana. And they are undefeatable. They are rishis from Swarga, undefeatable. You have come for a purpose here. So now you have fought with them. You've got to know who they are. Now you stop fighting. And that happened. In front of the eyes of Krishna and Arjun, Indra was defeated with all the Devatas and they went their way. And Arjuna was, Jai, Jai, I've defeated all the Devatas, like that. So, Arjun defeated in this way all the Devatas on the order of Lord Brahma. Now, Maidanava at that time was visiting Takshaka. Taksha had gone out. He was not there during the burning of the Khandava forest. So he escaped death. He was somewhere else visiting. And Maidanava was being hosted in his palace. So now Maidanava saw fire everywhere in that forest, in the palace of Takshaka. So he didn't know what to do. So he ran out and he went to Arjun right away because he knew Krishna will not spare me. And he begged Arjun, give me Abhaydan, give me freedom from fear. Arjun said, Tathastu, I give you freedom from fear. And in this way, Krishna could not kill Maidanava. So Maidanava was extremely pleased with Arjun's act of protection. He protected him actually even against Krishna. That's the power of a devotee. So he felt very much indebted. And therefore he had constructed that palace, that amazing palace, which no one else had. Now what happens here, one day sitting in the palace, Narad Muni came into their palace. And Yudhishthir dared to ask one question to Narada. He said, Oh Devarshi, you're traveling all over the universe. You have seen many, many divine palaces. Tell me, what are the other palaces like? Are they better than my palace? Are they more beautiful and opulent than my palace? It's right there written in the Mahabharata. Narad starts to describe Yamalok, Yamaraja's palace. And he describes Kubera's palace, full of gold. Even the roads in Alkapuri, in the city of Alka, are made of gold. You know? Gold bricks on the street. You walk over them. Amazing, huh? You can never be so proud on earth to have something like that. You know? Golden, and nobody cares to steal even one brick. People are so satisfied, so rich. This Kubera city. Then he also described Varuna Loka. which is a residence below water, underwater. And guess all the demons who didn't attain liberation, it says in the Mahabharata, Ravana. The reason is that when somebody incarnates, he is incarnating in three bodies. The Adidaivika body, Adhyatmika body, and Adibhautika body. The gross body, which you have, belonging to earth, that's what Mother Earth gave you. Adidaivika body is your conditioning on the Daiva level, your planetary constellations and things like that, your Adidaivika body. And then you have your Adhyatmika body, which belongs to Golokadham, the spiritual world. And all of them come here. So if a demon is liberated, his Atman might go to Goloka, but he can leave a divine Devata body behind also. And Mahabharata describes that. And Ravana was there in Varuna's palace, and many other demons who were killed in the past by Vishnu were still there, but they were purified, they were enjoying, like Devata, waiting for the next incarnation for them. So that's what the Mahabharata says, quite interesting. And Narada was describing, and then finally he said, yes, on earth, your palace is unequaled. There's no other palace like yours. But then he describes how the different planets have. He describes Brahma's palace. He says, I've seen Brahma's palace. But if you look at Brahma's palace, it's never the same. It's all the time changing its architecture. Right? This is impossible on earth. To create a palace which always changes shapes. Right? The pillar is here, and a few moments later the pillar is there. The color changes. The shape changes. The fragrance changes. The sounds in the palace, they are different. So Brahma's palace is like that. It always changes shapes like that. So he described all that. So Arjuna had seen really a lot. And then Arjuna also went with Krishna to Bhuma Purusha. The Bhuma Purusha is Mahavishnu. What happened was that once Arjuna was in Dwarka, and the Brahmin came in with a dead child, and he was blasting Ugrasen. You, supposed to be the king, you must be a sinful rascal, because in your presence my child, the Brahmin's child, has died. Your government is nonsense. You can imagine nowadays, if the populace goes, Madhya Bundesrepublik, how call them? What's the name of this in this country? The president's name? Merz. Madhya Merz. Your government is a nonsense because my child is died in my hand while you are ruling this country. You must be very sinful, otherwise my child cannot die like this. As the king is, so the populace is. And you get the sin of your populace also. You be very careful. This was the Brahman was saying this to Ugrasen. But Arjuna saw at a surprise, nobody's reacting to his words. You're saying all these so-called warriors, they're all useless. They don't know anything. Then Arjuna came in front of the Brahmana. He said, listen, I'm not Krishna, I'm not Prajumna, I'm not Ugrasena, but I promise you, I'm Arjuna, and I will protect your son. So the next time the wife of this Brahmin became pregnant, Arjuna was called in, come, protect my child. So Arjuna came in, he chanted mantras, he took his weapons and he shot arrows, making like a dome around the house. So no creature could come in. No demon, no demigod could come in by the force field he created. So the child came out crying and was happy for some time, but then all of a sudden it died. Then his Brahman, he looked at Arjuna. This rascal, this eunuch, in front of Krishna, in front of Balaram, in front of Ugrasen, nobody could do anything, and I believed in his words. Right? Useless guy. My child has died. Who are you? Arjuna had promised that I would jump into the fire if I cannot protect your child. So he looked at Krishna, what to do now? I have to commit suicide, burn my body. Arjuna understood. Krishna understood. He said, okay, come with me. I'm going to bring this child back. I know where it is. So I sat on my chariot and Krishna drove off from Dwarka. up in the sky. It was going north. And it was going up and up and up and up. And Arjuna was looking. What is this? This is the entire Jambu Dweep. This is Mount Meru. And beyond Jambu Dweep, there are the Loka mountains. You can see all the planets first, all the Dweepas. This is an island made of milk, ocean made of milk, sorry, an island, ocean made of liquor. By the way, the ocean made of liquor has been found by scientists. Do you want to know where it is? You can Google. There is a Niblo, I call that in German, Niblo. You have these clouds in the universe made of clouds, call them nebel, right? So one of these nebels has a color pinkish red, and scientists have analyzed the chemical substance of that nebel. It is rum, and the chemical substance is of strawberry. So it's strawberry rum. It tastes like that. Sursagar, the ocean of liquor. He's like, he's interested going drinking that. You're a brahmachari. So it is really there. There is an ocean of liquor there in the sky. You can Google for this. Now you have your own evidence. The most amazing things in the universe. This is, of course, it's obvious that, I believe that these scientists are reading our books and then going hunting for these things. And they found the ocean of liquor. The first thing they found is ocean of liquor. They must be hunting for the ocean of milk also. Ocean of ghee, ocean of butter, right? Once upon a time, the Britishers were making ridiculous our books, saying that, in these Hindu books with double O, Hindu, there are oceans of liquor and oceans of milk. And science is now finding an ocean of liquor and laughing at them. You are wrong. There is also an ocean of clear water. There's a pulsar star. It contains so much distilled purity water, you can drink it. And many, many thousands and millions of earth planets can go into that ocean, spinning around a quasar. So, ocean of pure water, right? So all these things have been found. And Arjun saw all of that, going through space with Krishna, space travel, going to the highest mountains ever. Loka are the borders between where the sunlight is and sunlight is not. And in Lokavarsha, it is inhabited. Beyond the circular mountain, is Alokavarsha, and there is nobody living there. And even it seems to be the modes are not present there. So it's extra for meditation. But then what will you eat there? It's totally dark. Sunlight doesn't go there. So when Krishna went there with Arjun, the horses of the chariot, they felt a little resistance because they couldn't see any direction. Then Krishna evoked Sudarshan and sent it ahead of the horses to enlighten the universe. So they traveled behind Sudarshan. And then they crossed the first layer of the universe, the layer of earth, and they crossed beyond that. Then they went to the earth layer of water. They pierced through the layer of water. Then to the layer of fire. Then to the layer of air and ether. And crossing all these different universal layers, they came into a realm which was amazingly brilliant and effulgent and shiny. Right? So though we sometimes portray Mahavishnu lying in darkness, he's lying in a palace. And there's a lot of light, according to the 10th canto. And in there, after some time, after this Brahma Jyoti, then Arjun could see, hey, there is a person also, a gigantic person, looking at little Arjun and Krishna. And he said, you too are my expansions. Mahavishnu says that. And I wanted to see you. I was eager to see you. And therefore I stole these sons of the Brahmins. Here, all the souls are there. They've never been killed because they are Brahmins. So now it's amazing. Acharyas have commented on this. Why Bhuma dares to say that Krishna and Arjun are his expansions? It should be the way around, right? The reason very simple is that anybody can come through the door. But are all those who come through the door expansions of the door? No, that's not it. You came through the door, so you're an expansion of the door? You're an avatar of the door? You're an avatar maybe of the bell before the door? No, right? So Mahavishnu is the gateway through which we enter. Also jivas enter through Mahavishnu. But we can't say that we are expansions of Mahavishnu like that. But in one sense, you can say, I'm the father, you're the son. That's true. Mahavishnu is the father. We are his son. So in this way, he's saying that you are my expansions, and I'm waiting for you to come back. And then he said, okay, I restored the Brahman's son, and all of the sons became alive again. So Arjuna had seen amazing things in the universe. And then look at this verse here. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard of before. That means that the universal form contains even more wonderful things than Dwarka, than Mahavishnu, than all these demigods, all these planets, all these palaces. Otherwise, how can Krishna say this? Arjuna had seen so many things. But still, I will show you things in my form which no one has ever seen before. And not just, like ordinary things, wonderful things, wondrous things. So then in the purport, Prabhupada goes on to describe that, not in the purport, in the verse, Krishna says that. Behold the manifestation of the Adityas. Who are the Adityas? I was looking for that. I hope they're mentioned here. They are not described. In the 6th canto, it's supposed to be described, the 12 Adityas. We don't like to speculate. So, no, they're not described here, unfortunately. The 12 Adityas. Anyway. The 12 Adityas. Anybody remembers who are the 12 Adityas? The 10th son of Aditi. Mitra is the 10th son of Aditi, says here. Oh yeah, it mentions here in the 6th canto, they come. O King Siddhi, who was the wife of Bhaga, the 6th son of Aditi. The 6th son is Bhaga. Who is the first son? Oh yeah. Shukadeva Goswami said, Prishni, who was the wife of Savita, the 5th of the 12 sons of Aditi, gave birth to 3 daughters, Savitri, Vyahariti, and Trayi. The sons named Agnihotra, Pashu, Soma, Chaturmasya, and the 5 Yagyas came out. O King Siddhi, who was the wife of Bhaga, the 6th son of Aditi, bore 3 sons, Mahima, Vibhu, and Prabhu, and one extremely beautiful daughter whose name was Ashi. So the 6th Aditi Aditi there are 12 of them, sons of Mother Aditi. And he says that 6th one is Bhaga. The 5th one is Savita. Maybe I can just sum them up here. Yeah, nobody's summarizing them here. You have to go by yourself. It looks. Aditi had 12 sons, of whom Indra was the 11th. So Indra is the 11th. And it goes on here, saying that Indra is the 11th son of Aditi, and he has 3 sons, Jayanta, Rishabh, and Madhusha. And the 12th son of Aditi is the dwarf Urukarma, or Vamanadev. So anyway, these are the 12 Adityas. They're all main devas who live in the heavenly planets. Then it says the Vasus. The Vasus are a group of devatas who are also described. Let me see if I can find them. It's a little bit difficult. A little time to prepare here, actually. Anyway, we can do it maybe tomorrow. I should end the class maybe here. So, any questions? We'll continue tomorrow with the Gita. Any questions?
Maybe you could explain to us, because many of these details seem relevant to us because we may not be able to comprehend.
Mm.
But maybe you could explain why all these details are important.
Oh, from the universal form.
Yeah, and also all the details you just mentioned about all these devatas, because this is all mentioned, or many of these things are mentioned in Bhagavatam, so it has a relevance, otherwise it would not be
Yes, yes.
mentioned.
I have to admit, I didn't have much time to research the Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras. I need some more time to recap all that. But we have to understand, when we talk about the universal form, it is the complete form of Lord Krishna, everything containing into his body. It's like our body is made out of nails, hairs, skin. We have some jewelry wearing, some limbs we have. And for us, it's ordinary. We don't much push attention to that. But Krishna's body contains a lot of devatas. The eyes of this universal form are the sun and the moon god. His hairs are the clouds, right? His bones are mountains. The veins are rivers, like that. So the entire universe has a connection with each other. Just like rivers, they flow on foothills of mountains. And they have a direction. And they nurture the ground, the soil around them. And on that soil, around river beddings, there grow trees and plants and food for humans to eat. So similarly, in the universe, in the universal form, one has to realize that there is a connection between the macro world, the universal world, and the little world which we experience as humans. Our body is connected to that universal body. So science is doing a lot of research trying to understand the human body. We have medicaments, we have medicines, we have if we have problems, we try to solve the problems in the body. And this universal form, how it is organized, and the devatas residing in the different places of the universal form, give a hint how, when there is some problem like with your stomach, the stomach, if you look in the universal form, then the oceans are residing there. So there's a link between oceans and your stomach. That's what says when somebody has a stomach problem or digestion problem, he should take a bath in the ocean, right? By taking a bath in the ocean, you're paying homage to the universal stomach. It can be blessed with then a healthy stomach. Any problems with your blood stream, or like I call that a glycerol, you call that in the blood? When oil starts to accumulate, glycerol, cholesterol, yes, cholesterol problem, then one should go to the rivers and take bath in order to try to make the veins flow better. The trees, they are like the hairs on the body of the Virata Purusha. So one has problems with hair growth, one should go to the forests and take a good forest walk, breathing in the air, like that. In this way, one can be cured of these kind of diseases. So this is one reason. 5 chapters of the Bhagavatam are dedicated to describing the universal form. And gradually, I will try to describe how this universal form came into existence. And also many unanswered questions in science will be answered, like when you take a medicine, how does the body know where that medicine has to go? The medicine goes into the mouth, through the throat, into the stomach. From the stomach, it goes into the digestive system and it is thrown out of the body. How does the body know where to send that antibiotics or that medicine to cure a disease? Who is behind this? Right? The question unanswered. They do all kinds of transplantations, kidney transplantation. But then an unknown, an alien organ is thrown out. The body does not accept it. Right? So they know that this exists, but they don't know why it is like that. You see? So if you look in when you look in the Virat form, in universal form, many of these unanswered questions will be answered. So here also, there must be a reason why there's so much detail. Of course, we have the reason obvious is everyone has a relationship with the universal form. Why? Because you are part of the universal form. So it's good to know what is your relationship with the Adityas, with the Vasus, with the Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, right? And then in future you might get some benefit out of that, right? Does it answer your question? Okay. Anything else? No. Grantaraj Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.